Hi everyone, welcome to today's Update Tuesday. It's Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie, and I hope you are all having a great Tuesday. I am so far here. Stampin' Up! Shared this amazing photo with us regarding all these cute little things that you can do to make scrapbook pages. So I thought this was fantastic. So everyone should know you can order little 6x8 photo pages from us that our memories and more cards fit in, or you can use our products also to make 12x12, 6x6, 8x8, different size scrapbook pages. But on this post, they basically focused on using the memories and more cards that are these little cards here. Now today I decided I was gonna do this one as well, but I thought this one's super easy. You can figure something out on your own with this, with just using the memories and more cards and the little stickers. But this one was a little more complicated and I loved how it looked. So this is the scrapbook page that we are going to make tonight. It incorporates the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set, which is part of the Flowers for Every Season suite that is in the catalog. And along with that are the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More cards. Now they don't come in a case like this. I just buy extra cases and reuse them for my Memories and More cards. Now you always get 4 sheets of stickers with your Memories and More cards. You get 4x6 cards, and then you get a bunch of 3x4 cards. And you can see I've already used mine several times, cut some of them apart, did different things with them. But that's how they come. So that's what you'll get when you do, buy the Memories and More cards. So I'm gonna set this little picture aside and we are just gonna get started. Now, I don't know if, actually, let me show you the photo one more time. I don't know if you can see it on here. You probably can't because it's white on white, but they have used embossing paste and the basic pattern masks to make a fun little design on here. And let me grab my mask now that I say that. I know it's over on my table. It was on my table because I washed it earlier after I used it. So the first thing we're going to need to do is do the embossing paste so it can dry on the page. So you'll start with a 12x12 Whisper White cardstock page, and then on here we're going to add a couple of little places on the top left and bottom right where we're going to use some white embossing paste. Now this is not the shimmery, this is just the regular white, and I try to leave my little foil lid on there just to help keep it soft, but it's not anything you have to do. But we want to get this done first because you want this to dry before you move on. So basically what they kind of did is they didn't fill in the entire sheet, but as you see, you just take your embossing paste and kind of frost it on there and then scrape it off so it's even with the thickness of the mask. And like I say, this is one of the basic masks. You can order these online on my site, and they're fantastic because you can do so many fun things with them. And then I'll show you the other masks here in just a second that come in a pack. So it comes in a pack of 4, and this is just one of them. So it's got this fantastic leaf pattern. I'm going to set those aside. Now you just use soapy water to wash them with. And so however yours turns out is fine. It doesn't have to be exactly like this because we're going to be adding other elements to the page. I am going to set this on the floor next to me just so it can dry and we can get started on the other things. So the basic masks come with that leaf one that you just saw. They're plastic, they're just a really thin plastic. You've got the brocade, the polka dots, and these trees. So you've got a couple of different little things that you can use those for, obviously. cards, scrapbook pages, basically whatever you want to do. So the next thing I did was I started with a piece of, this is 4 1/4 by 11. It is shimmery white cardstock. And the reason I did that is if you can see in the photo, they've stamped the sunflowers, but then they've also kind of blended it. So to do that, you don't want to use Whisper White because it'll kind of, your paper will kind of, I don't want to say shred, but just kind of come off from the page. And now I decided, because this page had Magenta Madness for the first sunflower, I did Magenta Madness for the first one. And then once you stamp it, you immediately take a blender pen, which is one of these, and you just go over it because that ink is still wet. You can kind of blend it and it will color in your sunflower with that Magenta Madness ink. Isn't that fantastic? Now, on the photo that I showed you, to me it looked as if they used either Balmy Blue or Pool Party. And I tried both of those. And for some reason, I could not get those ink colors to blend like this. So instead, I went with two of our other new in colors, Misty Moonlight, and then of course Bumblebee, because I believe that's what they used up in the other corner anyway, was Bumblebee. So instead of Pool Party, I went ahead and, like I said, used Misty Moonlight. And when you see how well it blends, you're gonna be like, oh, now I know why she chose that, because it really, really blends well. And I also did that all on the same paper here. So I will say hello to everyone while I'm getting on here. I see Ingrid's on, Donna's on, Chrissy's on, and Sharon. Hello to all of you. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I love how this just blends those colors together. And now if you were to just let this dry, I'm pretty sure it would not blend as nicely as this and fill in those sunflowers. So, and after each color, make sure you dry or kind of rub the color off onto your scratch paper, because you don't want that color to get onto your next flower. And then when I clean it, I cleaned it on my chamois, and then I just use a wipe just to make sure I get all that color off as well. So this next color is Bumblebee. This is another one of the new in colors. One of my new favorites. I really love all of our new in colors. And you don't have to go in any particular direction. You don't have to go in circles or like I'm doing, just kind of in lines across it. Do it however you want to do it. But definitely stick with the shimmery white for this, just because your cardstock doesn't flake off like it does if you use just regular Whisper White. Now the other thing that I did, the other color I used was Granny Apple Green. And that is for the leaves. And basically I just stamped, I'm gonna stamp one here. I'm only gonna do one because we don't need to do all of them. I already have them cut out. Now look how fantastic that Granny Apple Green blends. Like, that is the best of all of them. It just really goes right across. I love it. So I've already done these and I have cut them out so we don't have to get the big shot out, and I can set those ones aside and use them for another project. Now I will show you in a second the Balmy Blue, or not Balmy Blue, Pool Party one, just so you can see that it didn't turn out as nice. But these are my other flowers that I did earlier that are dry. Now when you see the Pool Party one, you can see how the ink colors, it just doesn't blend as nice. It doesn't, I even re-inked, thinking maybe my pad was a little bit dry. I re-inked it stamped it fresh again, and it still didn't. So I'm like, it's just something to do with the ink color. It just doesn't want to blend. Now the next thing I did was I cut out all of these little sunflowers in Whisper White, because that is what they add on this scrapbook page. So to put these together, I just flipped them all over and used a little bit of Tombow multi-purpose glue. And I just go around the center because you don't have to do it perfect. And then I'm just gonna set a block on that for a second. And then we'll move the block over as we go across with the flowers. It'll just hold it there long enough to make it stick good. Now, if you want, you can rotate these white sunflower outlines that you cut out with the dies to make them line up with the flowers, with the petals on the flowers. But they didn't do that on the scrapbook page, so I decided I wasn't going to do that. I'll just do it how they did it. So once those are all dry, and I would just set those to the side for a second so they can dry. They're all stuck down in the middle. Grab your stickers. Now you can see I've already used this sticker. Now they used this one right here. All I'm gonna do with that is I'm just gonna put some dimensionals on the back of it because it needs to be brought up. I don't want those size, I want regular ones, and I need to open a new one, I think. Because we did the embossing paste on the page, we kind of need to pop everything up that's going to be on this page. So I'm just going to put a few on there since this is sticky. I should have brought my embossing buddy over here. Let me grab my embossing buddy. I'm going to show you a real quick trick. We no longer sell these, but these are good for taking the static off your paper before you emboss. But they also work fantastic to just kind of go over stickers to take that sticky off from them. So now it's not sticky anymore, and I've got my dimensionals on the back of it. Now I was at Michael's the other day, and I did see they sell something similar to this. So if you need something like that and we don't sell it, you can get that from Michael's. I don't like to necessarily advertise stuff from other places, but we no longer sell it, and I think it's a great tool to have. So another piece that was on this page was this You Are My Sunshine, and this is one of the Memories and More cards, but they've cut it down a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut it down because they didn't have it full size on there. And I'm just going to go around and make it about one daisy width on all sides, approximately. Oops. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but that's approximately the size that they have it on the page. And then you can save these other little pieces to use for other projects. That's what I love about these. There's such vibrant colors and things on there that you can use them for other things. So let me grab our paper. And our embossing paste is already dry. Isn't that fantastic? Like, it took almost no time and it's dry. And then we're gonna grab, here is the Memories and More card that they used in the center. But again, we're gonna need dimensionals. So it's a good thing I got a whole new sheet because we are definitely gonna be using plenty of dimensionals for this page. And that's, like I said, because we did this paste embossing on here and everything needs to be lifted up. Now I'm not gonna put a photo on my page today. I'm just gonna have a piece of paper that says photo. I'm gonna lay on it when we get ready to, when we're at the end of the page, just so you can see where the photo goes, which if you were here at the beginning, you'll know because you'll remember the picture that I showed you. Oh, we'll do one more right in the center. Otherwise it will sag. We do not want that. We don't like saggy things, right, ladies? All right. So go ahead and get that centered. Let me make sure I'm straight. Sometimes it is easier to make sure I'm straight if I'm standing up. Now, the flowers for the first one is our bumblebee one, and it's kind of going to go under this edge just a little bit and have a little bit of that white showing. We don't need dimensionals on these just because they're not over top of that embossing paste. So I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus on the back of them to hold them there. There we go. It doesn't take a lot, just a little. And just kind of stick it up here in the corner. And then I have our leaves as well. Now I haven't glued the leaves together, so I guess I'm gonna need to do that. I forgot all about gluing the leaves. I cut plenty of them, so I would have some for extra projects. Just a small little dot on the bottom edge is perfect. And then you can actually just use a little bit of that glue to glue the leaves down as well. And they are gonna go, where's my take your pick tool? There we go. Just under the edge of the flower. So we'll do one here, kind of coming out, and then we'll do one on the other side. And I don't always like to stick these right directly to the back of the flower. I like to get the flower on the page sometimes and then just add them in like I just did. And kind of lift it up with the take your pick tool, just because you're never sure where you might want it and how, you know, and you want to make sure it's going to look the way you want it to look. So sometimes it's easier just to do it, add the leaves in as a little afterthought. So there's the first two, and then we're going to need 3 more. So let me just set 3 of them over here, and then we can get started on gluing those together. So who has any of these products? Do you have the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set or the Memories and More cards? They're the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More cards. I think they're so fun. They're perfect. They basically really are for every season. There's some in there for Christmas, there's fall, there's spring, there's summer. So there's just a little bit of everything. And so they're fun. Chrissy says she has all of it. Yay. Aren't they fantastic, Chrissy? Don't you love them? I do. I love them. All right, so we're gonna put our Misty Moonlight sunflower over here. Why is that sticking? There we go. And I'm just gonna set it kind of right here by the corner. And then we're gonna add our Magenta Madness. And now Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, and Bumblebee are all colors that are included in these Memories and More cards. So it's perfect. I didn't realize this flower was supposed to be kind of under the edge of this flower. So we're just gonna kind of shove it under there a little bit. Yay. And then we'll add some leaves in. One here. We'll add in, I love how it looks with the little die cut outlines that go over these. I think it just adds something fun to this project. We'll get a second leaf here. And then our third leaf, we're just gonna kind of put between the two of them over here. So we've got all of the leaves on there. Squish them down just to make sure they're stuck good. And then basically for your photo just kind of goes here. It kind of goes underneath this leaf. So you can add your photo there. And then I'm not going to stick this down yet because I don't have a photo on here yet. Your little sentiment goes here. You can put a name, you can put a date, you can write whatever you want to write on there. Or you can add something else. You can write on the page itself if you want to. And then for the last step, we're going to use some of the woven threads sequins just to add a little bit of sparkle here and there. I'm just going to put a few dots. And we'll just add some of those. Go ahead and you can use your take your pick tool just to get some of those sequins up. Now you can use whatever colors you want. There's a few colors in here, and actually that one's stuck, so we're gonna leave that one right there. There were two of them stuck together and I didn't realize it. Get another one here. And then maybe we'll do like a white one up here. And you can use whatever sequins you have. I just thought these kind of looked cute with it. I'm not sure which, I can't tell which sequins that they used from the photo just because it's taken from a distance and I can't quite tell which sequins they are, so I thought woven threads would be perfect. So I hope you enjoyed today's Update Tuesday. I absolutely love this page. I will take a photo of it. I am going to post on my blog all of the information, all of the supplies, so you can check that out after I get my post up. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday evening, and I will see you tomorrow for One Card Wonder Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. Bye.